Alright, what is going on, guys? Today it's Stab, and we are back with another video finally. Took a little Christmas vacation. I hope that everybody had a very nice Christmas. I know that I did. I joined the 21st century with an iPhone 6S. Not bad at all. But today, we are kicking off the NPL Season 4, and we have our first team builder of the year. Before I get into the team, some thank yous are in order. Shout out to my boy Ultra Tom, my friend on Twitter, for making this amazing layout that you guys see right now. Shout out to Dallas as always for making my powerful logo, and I think that is it. We are taking on the Virginia Tech Froakies and Cutness Johnson, I think. I don't know how to say his name, unfortunately, but his link will be in the description. Maybe with the other minors coaches as well. I'm not sure yet. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the team builder section right about. Alright, it is time. The league that matters. The battles that count. We are kicking off the NPL season, and we are taking on, like I mentioned, like probably 3 seconds ago, video-wise, we're taking the Virginia Tech Froakies, and you see right here, they have a very powerful team. Not too many offensive threats, but unfortunately for our team, the offensive threats that their team does possess cause a lot of problems for the Sacred Fire this year. As you'll see, my team is right next to you, right there. But you can also look on the right side of the screen and see the Pokemon that we had the ability to bring, as well as ones they had the ability to bring. Quick rundown there: the ability to bring Rotom Wash, Infernape, Fortress, Gardevoir, Healist, Blissey, Delphox, Durant, Vileplume, Togetic, and Mega Pinsir. Unfortunately, in the draft, they did steal Mega Pinsir from us. So, looking at this team, we decided to go right out into our team builder, which, as you'll see right here, starting with the first Pokemon that can do a lot of damage to their team and has nearly perfect coverage for everything that they had the potential to bring, is Mr. Thundurus. F.U. Thunder. He is coming to lay the wood, bang the hammer, and all that shit this season. Mixed Thundurus does a lot of damage to his team, like I stated earlier. We are bringing Life Orb to get that extra power boost. Move-wise, we're bringing Thunderbolt for stab. Thunderbolt does hit most of his team because I don't believe he has a ground type. Let me make sure on that. He does not have a ground type. No ground type, which means we're 3 to spam Thunderbolt if we choose to. It is also our best move to hit the Mega Pinsir, should that be a matchup. Superpower allows us to kill Blissey, basically. Knockoff is just great utility, and then we've hidden power flying for stuff like Durant. EVs wise down here, we're running naive so that we get the speed boost without damaging any of our mixed attacking capabilities. The attack allows us to guarantee a one-shot on Blissey, I believe. It's either a one-shot or a KO after rocks. I don't remember exactly. 180 special attack was as much attack that we could run in the special stat with our 240 in speed to outspeed Mega Pinsir. So very prepared, very excited to use Thundurus, like I mentioned in my draft analysis, which if you haven't seen, I'll put that in the description if you want to learn about the team and why I chose what I did. Really excited to use Thundurus this year. Next, we're bringing Andrea Bocelli. If you guys haven't seen him before, he's a blind Italian opera, stiletto, whatever singer who yells at himself because he's blind. I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say that, but no harm, no foul. Gardevoir-wise, we're bringing Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice basically destroys everything, especially after they take rocks damage. There's not a whole lot of things that can take one, so that's why Gardevoir is pretty much one of the most powerful megas in the format. We have Psyshock just because we need that Psychic Stab to hit Infernape, plus Psyshock will allow us to get some shots at him, Blissey, and then we have Hidden Power Fire to kind of clean up. We have Durant to take care of. I believe we speed tie. No, we don't speed tie Durant. What the hell am I saying? That thing is like 328, way faster than us, but we can nail it on the switch and things like that. Calm Mind. Originally, I had Shadow Ball here, but really Hyper Voice did just as much damage as Shadow Ball would have to the things that I was trying to cover, which I believe were the Shadow Ball was to hit his Gardevoir as well as the Delphox, but basically Delphox is frail, so even though Fire Resist Fairy, it still did a shit ton. But we're bringing Trace because Trace is one of the best abilities in the competitive in the draft format, I should say. We can use Pokemon's advantageous abilities against them, so that was definitely a better option over Synchronize. EVs wise, pretty simple. We're bringing max special attack, 4 and special defense to give a little bit of a boost, not really countable just because it's only 1 point extra. But then we're bringing speed to be as fast as we can. I believe we do outspeed things like the Rotom Wash and several other things should he choose to bring offensive Rotom Wash, which was a possibility based on what my team had. Scarf Rotom Wash. Well, Scarf Rotom Wash would outspeed us anyway, but you get the point. Yeah, so that is Gardevoir. Next, I looked at his team and I saw all these weaknesses to Stealth Rocks, but as you'll see later, we have a Pokemon that I wanted to bring Stealth Rocks, but I didn't want to give that role to this guy over here. We'll get to in a minute, but I did have a Ductrio on my team. Now, Ductrio does do a lot of good things for our team. We're bringing it to Jolly just to make us as fast as possible. 372, really good speed tier. 120 speed, really fast. Not sure I needed all of its speed, but you know what? Ductrio is too frail to kind of invest in other stats. Max attack. Moves wise, we do have Arena Trap, so we can trap the Infernape, click Earthquake, and have it die. Stone Edge hit the rest of his team. Earthquake and Stone Edge really just decimated most of his team anyway, barring like Fortress. Like I said, we're bringing Stealth Rock on Ductrio. Stealth Rock hurts, breaks potential sashes on Infernape. Really hurts Mega Pinsir's ability to do much to our team. Now, the last slot was kind of a three-way battle it out decision here. Originally, I wanted to bring Memento because Memento could allow us to get into Gardevoir potentially on something like Fortress or even Blissey, barring like Toxic, and set up Calm Minds and win that way. But at the same time, Memento didn't really have anything that we could get into for potential setup sweep and get around Infernape. Infernape was a very big threat the whole time I was building this team, so we didn't want to do that. Another option we had was to run Hidden Power Fire. That way Fortress could not come in and spin on our rocks, to spin our rocks away on us safely. But I didn't really foresee a situation where that would happen prior to the battle. So we decided to protect. This way, if the Infernape was choiced or any of those other mons were choiced, we could potentially protect, scout for the move, and then make the appropriate switch that way. Next, the Pokemon we wanted to sweep with, and we're planning on doing this. This is what I want to do. Regice was, as you know from my draft analysis, a very dark horse, potentially shit-wasting pick that we made in the draft. But a Rock Polish set with max speed. Why am I like this? With max speed right here. Really put in a good amount of work to his team. Ice Beam hit almost everything, and Infernape is frail enough to the point where it would still take around 45%. Life Orb boosted modest. Thunderbolt just provided really good coverage, especially against Mega Pinsir, barring close combat, which would have been bad. But lastly, with HP Fire just kind of rounded out the coverage and the ability to hit his team, especially against the Durant. Durant was another huge threat that we needed to prepare for. Like I said, Life Orb, modest, max special attack, and max speed to give us the most speed that we could with a Rock Polish up. Next, we had our boy Excadrill, Mr. Throwback. Choice Scarf was really the best option because it allowed us to outspeed Infernape, it allowed us to outspeed Mega Pinsir, and those were pretty much all of his big offensive threats. We're bringing Molt Breaker just because we have nothing on our team or his team to take advantage of the sand, and Molt Breaker allows us to hit things like Rotom Wash with Earthquake. We're bringing a pretty simple Choice Scarf set. We got Earthquake, Iron Head, that provided good coverage based on the fact that he had, like I said, Infernape, Rotom Wash, Gardevoir, Rock Slide for Mega Pinsir, and then Rapid Spin, just because if you look at our team, our main sweeper, our Regice, is weak to Rock. Our Thunders can't switch in multiple times to Rocks. We break our Focus Sash if Ductrio has to come in on Rocks, and then because of our hyper offensive team, I'll get to him later, but he needed that too. Jolly did allow us to outspeed a potentially scarfed Infernape. Well, I don't think we outspeed scarfed Infernape. I think we needed the scarf to outspeed Mega Pinsir. Yeah, Mega Pinsir. Yeah. So then lastly, we have Feel the Burn 2016. If you guys don't know who I'm voting for, that should give you a pretty good hint right there. Bring Spadef Arcanine. Spadef Arcanine handled Gardevoir pretty well. It's defensive in general to the point where with Intimidate, I did not have to invest very much in defense and still have it be a pretty good answer to a lot of things he had on his team, barring especially the Infernape. The point was, I'll get to the moveset in a second, but the point was to have this take on Infernape. We have near max HP to give us an odd HP number. 8 in defense, like I said, and then max special defense with a careful nature. Main attacking move right here, Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz hit a lot, I think almost everything on his team for at least neutral damage. We have Bulldoze for Infernape. I really hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. I was debating extreme speed, but at the same time, I felt that Bulldoze against Infernape would, if it was scarfed, it was a guaranteed 2 KO anyway, but basically it would allow it to get a -1 speed drop, which would help us take it out with stuff like Gardevoir anyway. The thing that I want to mention about Infernape before we even continue here is that I am expecting to bring Infernape. I will get to that in the last section of this video right now, but basically I am predicting him to bring Infernape. He has to. Firefighting, really the combination of that does a lot of work to my team, plus that on one Pokemon makes Infernape an amazing threat. I don't expect him to be choice. It's actually better for us if he's choiced, because then he can't switch up moves, and we have things that can take on locked in moves, if that makes sense. Like if he's locked into close combat, we can go into Gardevoir. If he's locked into Flare Blitz, we can go into Arcanine here. But if he's not locked in, which I think to his advantage, it's better for him to run Expert Belt or Life Orb or something like that that allows him to switch moves, because we have Pokemon that can take on the moves individually, but not a lot that can handle his ability to switch up moves. We have Toxic here for mainly for Blissey, just to wear that down, and then we have Morning Sun to gain some reliable recovery. Anyway, that is the team we are bringing. As far as the team that I predict him to bring, which is something new that I'm going to try and do this year, kind of go over what I expect him to bring before we even get into the battle. I've pretty much touched on this, but I do believe that Infernape is coming 110%. Like I mentioned, it does a lot to our team. I do expect it to bring a more offensive one, and definitely something that's not locked into one certain move. Expert Belt will do a lot, and Infernape gets Gunk Shot, which is something that I do have to worry about in the back of my mind here. Another Pokemon that I kind of mentioned was Durant. Durant with a Hustle Hone Claws offensive set can definitely put in a lot of work. It has a very nice speed tier and a very, very usable attack stat, especially with the Hustle boost. Another Pokemon I was expecting to bring is Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is a pretty good wall. It can spread burn on a lot of things, such as Excadrill here. It can burn Regice and wear it down. It can burn Thundurus and make sure that I'm not allowed to take on Blissey, basically. Knockoff won't do very much if I'm burned, so that is something that I have to worry about. Like I said, he does have the potential based on my team to bring an offensive variant of Rotom Wash as well. So Rotom Wash, another threat. So Rotom Wash, Durant, Infernape pretty much takes on my whole team. Another thing that I expect him to bring is maybe Blissey, because Regice and Gardevoir are pretty big threats to his team. Plus, he can toxic things like Chestnut potentially, which I'm not bringing obviously, but I do have the potential to bring. He can toxic my Arcanine. He can toxic my Thundurus. He can potentially paralyze my Gardevoir as well. So yeah. As far as the other two, it's kind of a mix. I definitely think he'll bring Mega Pinsir. That is another definite thing. So Pinsir and Infernape are the ones that I'm pretty much sold on, that fact that he's going to bring them. Mega Pinsir without Rocks Up and with a weakened Thundurus and a not weakened but a potentially dead Excadrill can definitely run through my team. Close Combat is a very good coverage move, as well as Earthquake if he chooses to bring that. He might bring Quick Attack. Quick Attack would allow him to outspeed a potentially weakened Excadrill and just pick off weakened threats like Dugtrio. So that's another thing I gotta worry about. And then lastly, he really has a the last slot's really a toss-up. I think that he will bring his own Gardevoir, just because Gardevoir can provide wish support and can provide a decent special wall. So that is something we've also got to worry about. And all in all, I feel like if I play this right and I'm able to get my Regi set up, I can win. And I feel like if I don't play correctly and allow some of my pseudo walls, just because this is a very hyper offensive team to bring against him, if I let some of my pseudo walls get destroyed, basically, he can pretty much sweep my team with either Pinsir or Infernape. Yeah, but if we control Infernape, we get our Regi set up, we should be in a pretty good position. Anyway, guys, leave your predictions in the comments. Tell me if my team sucks. Tell me if my team is a Lord squad, and what your predicted outcome for the game will be. We have actually already had the battle, so the battle will be up probably tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I'm Stab, and if you guys want, you can subscribe. Please leave a like on the video. Please comment your predictions in the comment section. And yeah, guys, I will see you later, and I am out.